Hello, welcome back to Average Arcader. I'm Chuck, and I was supposed to be doing another Cost to the Boss episode right now, but unfortunately I can't. Why? Well, the game I was supposed to cover, Streets of Rage 3, I can't cover it because I can't enjoy playing it. You see, in Cost to the Boss, I count how many enemies you fight in the game, and then I calculate how much it would have cost the boss character of that game to pay all those enemies. To do that, I have to play through the game at least twice so that I can make sure I've got accurate numbers. But I can't even get through this game once. It's that bad to me. Which is a shame because I love the first two games. In fact, Streets of Rage 2 is one of my all-time favorite games. So when I started playing through 3 and it was this bad, I was like, I just can't go through this whole entire game. So instead of doing a full Cost to the Boss episode, I figured I would just do a little mini review of what I did manage to play so I could explain why I'm just not going to be able to finish this game. So one of my first complaints with this game is the movement speed. Not your character's movement speed, but the enemy's movement speed. It's way too fast. It's almost like they wanted this game to feel fast-paced, so they cranked up everybody's speed to like 11. Unfortunately, all this does is make every enemy feel cheap. Some of them will literally run circles around you. The second thing that I wanted to talk about was the health pools. Now, as you can see, they start off okay, pretty normal. But as we continue on in the first level, they slowly get bigger and bigger and bigger until normal enemies have the same amount of health as you do. On top of that, you don't do the damage you're supposed to be doing. Even your special attacks are way weaker in this game than the others. And you can't offset that by picking up weapons because now weapons break after a couple uses. Tell me, does this make sense to you? A sword, a weapon specially designed to hit people with, breaks after 2 or 3 hits. Now, that don't make no sense to me. If it makes sense to you, okay, but it doesn't make any sense to me. Now, all these things were added to the game for one reason, to make it feel longer. You see, one of the few complaints with the first 2 games was that they were not long enough. But instead of Sega thinking, oh, we need to add more content to the games, they thought, well, let's just make the content that we already have take longer to do. Thus, we have a longer game. As a result of this, every single level feels like it just drags on and on and on. And that just really takes the fun out of it for me. All these problems just intensify in the second level. You see these biker guys? In the second game, they would go down with 1 hit. Now it takes 4 hits to knock them down while they're on their bikes. That's not necessary. It's just there to waste your time, make you feel like the level is longer, but it's really not. And it's not just the normal enemies. Just take a look at the 2 sub-bosses for this level. Now ignore the fact that one of them is a goofy looking clown and the other one is a kangaroo with boxing gloves because, you know, game logic. No, focus on 1, their health pools, the damage that they do to me, and the damage that I can do to them. This fight isn't even halfway over yet, and I'm about to lose another life. Meanwhile, the crazy clown guy still has 2 pools of health left. Now let me remind you, this is just the second level. It shouldn't be this hard to take down 2 sub-bosses. But, as annoying and frustrating as these 2 are, they're nothing compared to the final bosses of this level. It's the crazy jumping ladies from the first game, only now they're even more ridiculous. They jump around all over the place and you can barely get a hit on them. And when you do, because your damage is so low, you barely do anything to them. Meanwhile, an attack from them can take a quarter of your health. It's not fun, it's just frustrating. And let me remind you one last time, this is the second level in the game. I do finally manage to beat them, but it takes a huge chunk of lives and a continue. Afterwards, I just didn't have it in me to keep playing. The fun was just all gone. And that's it. After that, I couldn't keep playing the game. I just didn't find it fun. And if I can't enjoy a game, I can't complete it. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there who love this game. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. And that brings our coverage of the Streets of Rage series to an end. If there's any other games you think we should cover on the show, please put them down in the comments. But until next time, I'm Chuck. This is Average Arcader. Have a nice day.